Welcome to the Play Ratings. Lou and I will be discussing the Leicester nil Crystal Palace 2 performance yesterday. Lou, you're at the game. Quick thoughts on your travel up there.
Yeah, to be fair, there was no traffic. It was smooth to get up there. It was in the Barley Mow pub, which is normally, if you go Leicester away, absolutely heaving with Palace fans spilling out. Yeah, and yesterday you could get a beer without queuing, so that gave the indication that there weren't many travelling up last night. But like I said, sometimes you get rewarded for your loyalty, and yesterday we was rewarded.
Listen, man, fair play to you and your dad going up there, man. That was brilliant. But before I actually get into the ratings and talk about the game, I want to ask you a quick question. Who started the "Say Hello to Millwall" chant? 8-second minute. That was brilliant. I love that. Were you part
It
of
was
that?
good. No, I wasn't part of that, but I joined in. I, if you know me a lot, I'm not a fan of the 1861 song,
I know.
and there was 100 minutes yesterday where it was not sung once, and I
Oh,
thoroughly enjoyed it.
heaven. Yeah. I just heard it. I heard it last night, and I watched the game again. I'm like, that's brilliant. I got to mention that to you.
Mm.
So once again, if you're watching, please like, subscribe. We appreciate your support, and let's get going. So a little different today. Lou and I want to talk about some stuff before we get individual players. So
Mhm.
I'll pop this up first. Go ahead, Lou. Talk about the overall stats for the
So
game.
this is the first half, so we could have like a compare and contrast. You can see their possession, their expected goals well ahead of ours. Shots much higher. We didn't work the keeper once. Didn't even have a corner kick, which we ended up being really dangerous from set pieces. I thought. Expected goals 0.42. That was probably just the Mateta chance alone was
Yep.
high enough. It just shows the lack of quality that we had in the first half, and I feel like we were quite panicky as well. There wasn't a calmness to our game. Obviously, being at the game is always different to watching it. Pat's watched it back again. So, what did you think of the first half?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I watched it again, but watching it live, very frustrating. We really allowed their midfield to dominate ours. I thought. I
Mm.
mean, obviously, in retrospect, the reason obviously is obviously Lem was sick, and you could tell he just wasn't up for it. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, Hughes coming off the injury, but it was just frustrating. And I thought our defending in that first half was resolute, but I just thought that we didn't really do a good enough job of uh what's one word I'm gonna say? Gave away the ball too much, and that was
Yeah.
frustrating. We gave the ball away a lot. So I want to pop up another one that you
Mm.
had here. Uh, Speaking of which, here we go. Defending overall. Why don't you speak
Yeah.
to this one?
So this one's quite you could see it was quite even in the sense that the total tackles the same, interceptions same.
Yep,
We
yep,
had more recoveries and clearances. This is a big one. Errors leading to a shot. That was our sloppy play in the first half.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
um, I really watched Vardy yesterday. That's one player that he might have looked good on. I don't know how he looked on the TV, but in that first half, he was clear of everyone on that
Yep,
pitch.
yeah,
Intelligence, runs, he knew when to press. Every single ball into him stuck. Like we always talk about, he goes against the striker every week. Lacroix was having trouble in that first half. He didn't know how to deal with Vardy. Everything was pop off the chest, lay it off, round the corner. And even when the ball was going in behind, Gahey very rarely looks flustered. Vardy makes Gahey nervous. I think it happened to him in the first game, didn't he? He's the one that ran off Gahey in the first game this season to score. So it was whatever tweak Glasner done in the second half. Vardy didn't have a sniff,
yeah.
and,
And,
and
and the
this,
last one, okay, the overall match, the match stats. You can see obviously we had a higher XG,
yeah,
more big chances, but look at the shot differential.
yeah.
10 for
I
them,
think,
5 for us. Go
I
ahead.
think, I think where stats always give you more questions, and they had quite a lot of shots, but their quality of shot, when you go into like deeper data, the quality of shots wasn't great. I don't know how much they determine big chances. They hit the crossbar, Samore in the second half. There
Right.
was a 10-15 minute period after we scored where we let them back in the game. And people were complaining, but in the Premier League, listen, you can't dominate for 90 minutes. It's about riding out those 10-15 minutes, keeping solid, and they got their rewards. They rode their luck a little bit, but then they used a set piece as a sucker punch to get the second.
Yeah. So let's go into individual performances. We'll start with, well, let me cancel that for a second. Dean Henderson. I gave him a 7.5. You gave him an 8. I'll go quickly first. Again, clean sheet is, what is that? The 5th clean sheet for him this season. We've had conceded 11 away goals, which is fantastic. But for this game, mentioned before, 20 shots they had, only 4 on target, 4 saves for him. 6 out of 16 on the long kicks, 18-29 passing, which is improved. But for me, the big part was the save on Vardy, the one-on-one save. It was brilliant. Now, on the comms, they mentioned it might have been offside. They didn't really replay it, but I thought he had a really good game. What are your thoughts on Henderson?
Yeah, I thought he was really good. He's become is another one of those creepers from Dougie that everyone complained about at the beginning. That's why you never go early, man. Everyone goes too early. There was big complaints. Now Sam Johnson's rotting on the bench at Wolves, and we've got England's number 2, and he's performing week in, week out. He's getting much better with his feet. Sometimes there's a few shanked kicks that go out of play, but if he was perfect, he would be 40-50 million. He's of a great age, and listen, he could be with us for the next 10 years if we stay in the Premier League.
I agree. Move on to the right wing back, Danny Munoz. I gave him a 5.5. You gave him a 5. I'll pop the graphic up while you're talking, but talk about Munoz.
So you know me and I was even talking Dan. I was with Dan from Eagle Eyed, and I was saying I love Munoz. Like, there was the good parts and the bad parts. The Mateta chance that he missed, that was Munoz sprinting, high press, winning the ball up, and creating that chance just from high energy. But the other side of his game yesterday in that first half was really poor. As you can see, I think he lost possession 17 times.
Yep, right there on the bottom, yeah.
Only 2 crosses from our wing back isn't great. No shots on target. I think the big chance created was the ball across the box, which was probably his only bit of quality in the game, I think, yesterday. But yeah, he was still getting in good positions. But there was that final 5-10 yard pass. I feel like Sarr made some good runs that he wasn't finding. It wasn't one of his best games, but still, he still had an okay game. But like we said, the standard that he sets and what we need from a right wing back, we need better performances than that against better teams.
Yeah, I agree. And he came into the game. I mean, Mavididi gave him some trouble in the first half. Obviously, I'm sure you remember, he gave up that in the beginning of the game. The poor pass led to that Vardy half chance early in the game. But again, he did set up Mateta for that chance, and he did at 90th plus minute, kept running, set up that Sarr. Remember, Sarr had a shot into the side netting, or actually saved by the keeper.
Yeah, it was saved.
Right. So he came into the game, but again, you're right. He lost possession too many times. It wasn't his best game, but again, we won the game. And again, just to note, everybody on the team got a 0.5 extra for me for that clean sheet. You know, so everybody got 0.5, and he's part of that defending, so I'll give him that. So let's move on to Tyreek Mitchell. I gave him a 6.5. You gave him a 6. You go first while I pop up the graphic on Tyreek.
Yeah, do you know what? Maybe 6 is a bit harsh because he was ill as well. I think he was one of the players that were ill. I feel like he got forward. That was a great finish that the keeper saved. It was a great save, by the way. The little dink after a great move. I didn't think Eze really helped him much. Wasn't really playing the ball out to him. I don't know whether does Eze not trust him. What do you think?
Interesting, because Dee mentioned in the post-match reaction, if you haven't seen it, watch that. That there were so many times when Tyreek was wide open on the left and he wouldn't pass on the ball or didn't pass on the ball. I don't know if it was, and then one time he did, he switched the ball to Munoz and it went
kicked it off.
Exactly. So I don't think it's lack of trust. I think, and I watched again, read up again. I think they said he also was ill yesterday. So You know what I mean? But yeah, that wasn't. Yeah, the fact he didn't look at Mitchell enough yesterday was a bit frustrating. But go ahead,
So
sorry, continue.
we was so obviously Dan, he likes the data as well, and I was also listening to the Palace Way, the Tampa guy who was talking about Mitchell's really good in his own final third, and he's really good in the final third. I don't think he's quite bad in the final third. It's the mid third where he struggles, where we're progressing the ball, just progressive passes and progressive carries. So you can
Right,
see our left wing back, his heat map is not very high, is it?
it's
It's
not
like it's not very high. That's why I got the heat map up. So
right.
that's why we need the alternative, the competition.
Yeah,
So we
and
have a
the
left
attack.
wing
Yeah,
back.
the more attacking guy. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Again, the shot. I mean, you know, you're right. You mentioned the dink he could have scored on. 81% passing, 3 clearances. Buonanotte is a decent player, and I thought he did a good job of kind of track him as well as
Yeah, Justin
uh,
as well.
right, James Justin, who's a very attacking. What
Yeah,
I was watching, I watched some Leicester fans, and they talk about with Justin. One of the things is they want him to get as high as possible, and then
hmm,
also track back. So that's Mitchell's job now to obviously track him and whoever else on that side. So he did a good job.
yeah,
3 clearances, 6 recoveries. I thought overall he had a good game, but again, it was just weird to see that as they wouldn't use him, and also that he got subbed off, and I think he also might have been ill. So there
yeah. I
is
think he
that
was
as
one of the
well.
players that they said went home on Saturday. I
Yeah,
think him and Mateta.
yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. Let's go to go to our centre backs now. Maxence Lacroix again. Everyone get an extra 0.5 for the clean sheet. I gave him 7.5. Gave him a 7. I'll go first real quickly. Uh, you mentioned before. I thought Vardy gave him a bit of a torrid time yesterday. Vardy's very smart. He played, he's playing between he plays between the centre half.
mm.
He's not even at 30 plus years of age. He's very,
38
very
years
smart.
old.
38.
38.
Yeah, yeah, very, very good. 83% passing. Sorry, uh 90% passing actually. Lacroix, very good passing. 4-7 long boys. He's looking to force that ball sometimes through that middle, progressively, which sometimes can be
Mm.
dangerous. But I like the fact that one of our defenders is trying to do that. 1 block, 4 clearances, 6 recoveries, 2 interceptions. I thought overall, they didn't score, but I thought he did a decent job on Vardy again, who kind of ran him ragged, especially first half, but much better second half. But your thoughts on
Yeah,
Maxence Lacroix?
yeah. Again, I could criticize his performance in the first half, but I genuinely think Vardy was unbelievable. Like we were saying, if you was a young striker or you're in the academy, you're
Watch
saying,
him.
watch that.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
how you play as a striker. Mateta's
Yeah.
twice the size of him and twice the build, and did not have the same level of hold up play and intelligence. It's not just the touch, it's the movement as well, the way he peels off, the way he goes into positions that you do not want to be in. And Lacroix is a physical, quick centre half. And yeah, he gave him trouble. But I think that's more credit to Vardy than
Yeah,
Lacroix's actual performance, because
100%.
Lacroix was still trying to be aggressive and he was really good in the second half. Uh, Again, he's a maverick in the team. He's soon as he scored, you can see how happy they are together. It's a shame Chalobah wasn't there, because like they were like a little trio. And again, he's the one leading. As soon as the game finishes, he's the one coming up to the crowd. He's throwing his top in the crowd. I think he's earned his respect on and off the field, and I hope he
100%.
stays with. I hope he stays with us a long time. There was a quick thing about when we play our long balls with our wing backs. I think there's another issue. Intelligence wise, the better players can read body language of their teammates. So a lot of time, Gahey was opening up to play a big diag, or Lacroix was opening up, and Mitchell and Munoz can't time their runs right. There should be triggers, like Gahey opens up, Munoz is already in the position. Like that's why he's offside so much. Whereas
Right.
like if he holds back and he analyzes the way Gahey plays and the way that open up for that big diag, there were so many
Yep.
times it was on, but Munoz is either offside or his movement isn't good enough.
Isn't
It's the
there?
same
Yeah.
with Lacroix on the other side. Mitchell, if you hold back and understand how, like, the trigger of when he's going to play the long pass or when he's going to play the short pass, we would get in a lot more. So I think that's another thing that our wing backs and our centre backs need to learn is is how each other plays and the triggers for the passing, because there's triggers for pressing and there's triggers for passing. A team like Man City in their prime, they do it so well. Like when KDB would get on the ball, a certain movement would then trigger another player to make a certain movement. So that's what I think we need to improve on as well.
Funny, we're gonna go to Richards now, and I noticed you noticed in our group chat you talked about he was their trigger to press Leicester. So I gave him a 6.5. You gave him a 5.5. I'll pop the graphic up for Richards, but why don't you start talking about how Chris Richards played yesterday?
Yeah, do you know what? See, look, I see a lot of fans and whatnot. They tweet stuff. I think Bruno even spoke about deleting tweets at halftime. Never go early, because Richards had a poor first half, but they did target him, and there wasn't much help for him. Munoz. This is when I speak about the technical ability on the right side was Richards, Munoz, and Sarr. These are not technical players. And as you can see, I think he gave the ball away 19 times.
19, yeah, 19
19, which was the highest of, I think, the whole team yesterday.
It was.
Leicester didn't press Lacroix and Guéhi. As soon as the ball went sideways or even backwards to Richards, they hunted in packs, 3 or 4, because they knew Richards wouldn't be able to have the quality to play one in behind Christian or play a quality ball, line breaking pass to a midfielder or a striker. Again, Glasner made the tweaks, and Richards did not have any trouble in the second half. I thought he was really good in the second half. So I gave him a 5.5 just on the balance of the first half performance and the second half. Yet again, he's only played 3 games in a row. This is the first time I think he's played 3 games in a row this season, maybe.
It is.
Let him get into his groove the same way we let Chalobah get in his groove.
Excellent point. And that's what I want to say. Hearing a lot of negative things about him, and he's not Chalobah, and technically he's not as good as Chalobah, but like you just said, he grew into the game yesterday much better. Yes, he gave away the ball way too many times, but I remember there was one time when Vardy ran by Guéhi and Richards came back and helped out. Very good in the air defensively. And again, he got better, and we're going to get to Glasner later. It might have been the rollicking that they got at halftime, but he just got better. But again, he hasn't played with Lacroix and Guéhi as much as Chalobah has. And even Chalobah wasn't great the first couple of matches. I was at the first time Lacroix played. I'll go back to it again. It was the Leicester home game. I hope people understand saying, why we even get this guy? Do you know what I mean? Or first game, people were criticizing him. And now, as soon as that, and look how we talk about him now. But, we need to give Richards time. I don't think he's there yet, and he has things that he has to work. He has to stop giving the ball away. He tries to force balls that he doesn't have to play. I'd rather he just try to take the safer path, but he's trying to make. But the thing about him, he tries to make progressive passes that don't always work out. Maybe you might want to, but again, I just think he got better as the game went on. I think that people had to get him a little more patient with him. So
there was a couple points there. He didn't give away one foul. He wasn't dribble past one.
Yeah.
He wasn't dribble past once. And there was another time in the second half. When I talk about the passing triggers, he's opened up his body. Munoz is like really wide, and the right ball is into the space, but he plays to feet. I think that's another big thing. You need to. We don't recognize those little things, and that's where the quality from a mid-table, lower Premier League player to a top 6 player, you recognize that should be played in behind into his path. And I remember he played it into Munoz's feet. By the time it got to his feet, then Mavididi came across. Then all of a sudden it breaks down. People can get in. Sarr's run they can track Sarr's run, and then we ended up going back round and back round. When really, if that pass was played 3-4 yards in front, we're in behind. So it's those little things. But I'm guessing like Glasner will work on that on the training field, and that's what looking back at tapes are for, and hopefully he can improve his game.
And I'm bringing up now, reading this morning, BBC, Alex Howe mentioned that Palace will not be in the market for a centre-back, even though Chalobah went back, because they feel happy with Riyad and Richards. So we'll see what goes with that. I'm happy with that, by the way. I think we should address other areas, but again, I think Richards and Riyad will be fine rest of the season, barring obviously an injury of some kind. So let's get to our captain, Mark Guéhi. 8.5 from me, 8.5 from you. Man of the match for both of us. And I just got a on my phone an alert. He got the fans man of the match also. So I'll start with him, and I'll pop the graphic up in a minute. On
Yeah.
Mark Gahey, brilliant performance yesterday. Yes, initially Vardy gave him a bit of trouble, but really just a really captain performance. Actually, no, pop the graphic now because I want to talk to how well he did as far as the numbers. There he is right there. So as we can both see now, played the whole 90, scored a brilliant goal. By the way, I'll get to that last, but what a great goal. 5 clearances, 2 block shots, 81 touches, 83% passing. Sorry, let me scroll down a little bit. 10 long balls, 3 out of 10 accurate. 2 ground duels, 1, 4 aerial duels. Lost possession twice, but again, we won't harp on that. But really good defensively again as the game grew on, got better and better against Vardy. Vardy did miss some chances, but I thought he marshaled defense well. And what a well-taken goal. He's not a striker. Great ball by Ebbs right on the 6-yard box and a left-footed finish. We talk about how he can use both feet and he plays on the left side. What a beautiful goal. Great celebration at the end. But I thought, again, we both agreed on man of the match, but I thought Gay was brilliant yesterday. What about your thoughts on Gahey?
Yeah, you covered everything really well. Like I said, Vardy made him uneasy a bit, but then Glasner's probably said, listen, he's 38. Like, you deal with bigger, stronger, quicker strikers. Just relax. Vardy he's like an annoying fly that you can't get rid of. But yeah, second half unbelievable. So calm in possession, left foot, right foot.
Yeah.
He's the example of someone who leads by example without having to shout. Like, he sets that standard, and people are complaining about his performance against Stockport. So that it happens when you play against lower league or you end up lowering the level. Today, right back up there, shows why I think he's England's best centre back. Probably one of the most underrated players in the league. Great finish, great celebration. Yeah, man. I just hope when he does move, he doesn't go to Chelsea and he gets. I would love to see him go abroad and maybe play a similar move to Elise, like a Bayern or a Madrid or something like that.
100% with you on that. Do not go to England anywhere. Go to Europe and play again in Spain, Italy, Germany. He'll fit right in. He's got the technical ability to do that, so that'd be great. Let's move on to next. Let's go to, since he didn't play a lot of the game and he was ill, let's go to Jefferson Lerma. 5.5 again. Again, I gave him a half. Probably should have been a 5. You gave him a 5. Why don't you talk about? He didn't play a lot, but talk about Lerma.
Yeah, he was sick. I think even the slightest of cold will affect you in a Premier League game. If anyone's even played 7-a-side and been blowing, I don't think you'd understand what it takes to play in the centre of the park in a Premier League game, especially after playing a few days before. He's played probably the most minutes out of all the midfielders. Yeah, I like the bit. He had a good block, but yeah, he just ran out. Not really much to talk about. He was ill, so
yeah, same. So you know what I'll do? It's something. I'll actually jump to his replacement actually quick. Check the Corey. 6.5 for me. 6.5 for you. I'll go first. Lerma again. You could tell he was sick, so I don't want to get on him. But I thought the Corey did a really good job. I'll continue to say it. The Corey's ability to be press resistant and progress the ball is something that we're missing big time. I have zero issue with Lerma and Hughes, but they did not provide what Wharton and Decore provide. And again, yesterday was a good example, especially in that first 20 minutes. You could just tell Leicester's midfield is not great, but they're decent, and they were all over them the big first 20, 25 minutes. And when Decore came in, he settled things down and made a difference to me. Stat-wise, passing wasn't great, and he was dispossessed 3 times. He had 9 recoveries. He won 5 duels. He was very good defensively, and on the goal that we scored, the first goal, right? Actually, for the second goal, he gets the foul. He draws the foul because he wins the ball and then progresses it. He was foul for the free kick, and he's involved in the play that Saar gets for the goal that he passes to Mateta. So I thought him coming in was very, very important. But what are your thoughts on Decore yesterday?
Yeah, you covered everything. I think with Decore, we're seeing glimpses of the £80 million player and glimpses of the rustiness. He played that really blind pass, which
Said it perfectly.
is
I agree with that. Yeah.
which is what it's like, that whole saying, like, do not play in the midfield and playing a blind pass on your weaker foot is you're asking for trouble there. But that's just to me that's match rust. Yeah, I thought he was really good in the second half. I just hope he can keep getting minutes in those legs. I still feel Glasner's using him perfectly, not pushing him to his limit, just easing him. I really think he is trying to get Decore up to full speed for when Wharton gets back. That's my theory.
I
That he's
agree.
trying to get him to by the time Wharton's ready to play, Decore is ready to play. That's my theory. I might be wrong, but that's what I've been thinking. I think he's thinking, if Wharton comes back and then I've got a burnt out Decore, then I'm never gonna have these two fit together. But yeah, great performance. I love watching him play.
I really do too. Yeah, he's just different. He's a different kind of midfielder than we have, which I like.
And
Everyone's got a different profile, which I love.
And we spoke about, like, even Harry Winks being a technician. I thought Harry Winks was decent yesterday. He moved the ball well. As Decore came on, and that's what we needed. Someone who can get their foot on the ball, calm, and he had some great recoveries as well.
Popped up already. Will Hughes, I gave him a 6.5. You gave him a 7. Why don't you speak on Will Hughes' performance yesterday, which I think got much better as the game went on, by the way.
Yeah. I think he was a bit handicapped playing with an ill centre midfielder partner. I think he was the only one who was. I know Glasner loves winning the ball high up, and he looked like the only person who was going to help us win the ball higher up the pitch. Yeah, I thought he was battling performance. He only played 60 minutes, but again, great management by Glasner. We're playing West Ham on Saturday. That's going to be a tough game. So yeah, it was just a typical Hughes performance. There wasn't anything fantastic, overly brilliant, but he done all the things, all the basic things well that might go under the radar. I don't know what his pass completion was like, but he had quite a few nice passes out wide. Not really any defense splitting passes. There was a moment in the first half where JP was in and he tried to slide in Eze, and then he missed that. Then Hughes had a chance to slip him in, and then it was a really weak pass. But that was about it. Yeah, so played 60 minutes. Yeah, happy with his performance.
Yeah, 60 minutes. Funny enough, he had the most tackles in the match of anybody.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
43 touches, 3 out of 3 long balls. So he's definitely getting better on that. Yeah. 4 out of 8 ground duels won, and he had 89% passing accuracy.
Very good.
Again, in only 60 minutes, again, I was frustrated with both of he and Lerman the first 20, but again, you mentioned before he was carrying Lerman because of the injury. I mean, sorry, because of the illness. But once Decore came in, we got much better in midfield. And I thought Hughes really did a good job, considering, like I said, he was. And again, he hadn't played in a while because of the foot. So good performance there by Hughes. I'll go to Ismail Assar first before we get to Ebbs. 7.5 for me. 7.5 for you. I'll go first because he was actually kind of quiet in the first half. But again, with him, when you need him to do something, he did it. He picks up the ball again. I mentioned he picked up the ball. I'm pretty sure it came from the core, and it drove the ball forward, and puts a brilliant pass in to Mateta. That Mateta got around Vestergaard, and then get the finish was brilliant. But again, that moment of quality, and I've said it before, I never thought he's a great passer, but I'm starting to see. I'm underrating him as a passer. He's definitely a better passer than I give him credit for, because that pass was quality to set that goal. But I thought he played, again, overall, I'm not going to go into the stats, maybe, because it's not a stat game for him. But as far as moments, he put a great ball to Mitchell, because again, he had the one at the Mitchell chance. That was his pass. His third assist of the season. And again, I've got to mention it, very good defending on corners, and just overall, he tracks back. He's defensively, his hard work is evident. But your thoughts on Sarr yesterday?
He's that second half performance was just, it was a joy to watch. As a Palace fan, we like our ethos. We've always grown up with pacey players. I love watching Sarr play. He puts fear into defenders, and that pass, I watched it again this morning. That is the eye of the needle pass.
Yeah,
literally, it couldn't. Mateta couldn't have got it if it was anywhere to the left or right. There was such a small gap between the keeper and the defense. And Mateta's had to stay on side. It's literally the perfect pass after shrugging off two players as well.
Yeah,
And like we said, we're always in tight games. If teams start opening up against us, we look dangerous with Sarr. We look so dangerous when he starts getting in those pockets and driving forward, and you know that little run that he makes. So he goes deep, it goes to Munoz, and he makes that run in behind. We look really dangerous. So yeah, listen, and this is all credit to Glasner, by the way. He's transformed him from
100%.
when he came in, and this is why I keep reiterating. I will not complain about the club, and I will complain, but I'm saying until OG comes out and says like I'm done, that's
Yep,
when I'll be done. Okay,
I,
so
I agree.
that's how I feel. He just makes players so much better. Even the Sarr at Watford, I thought he was just like a down the line winger, cause
Over the
chaos. Now
over right.
he's bringing even more into his game. He's getting better with the ball, with his back to goal, because that was one of my complaints of his, that he wasn't great with his back to goal. But yeah, great performance.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's get to Ebbs. 5.5 for me, 5 for you. Why don't you talk about Ebbs' performance yesterday? I'll pop up
I
the
think
graphic.
I think if you just use our comments for the last Stockport game, Southampton game, and Chelsea game, you can just use exactly what we said.
100% moments. And yeah,
Moments, but very,
not
if I'm
involved
being
as much.
honest,
Yeah, yeah,
very poor. Very
yeah,
poor quality for his. Like I said, I just don't understand what's missing. I don't get it. I can't put my finger on it. Normally, I watch players and I feel like I can get an understanding why it isn't working. And my only idea is he doesn't. You know that when we were saying he wasn't playing the ball out to Mitchell.
right.
If you want to hold on to the ball, that's fine. But why don't you get it, give it, then go and get it again? Because once you do that, then the other team have got to move. As soon as he starts slowing it down, it allows them to get all their defense and their midfield back into a mid block or a low block. It just slows a lot of things down. Like I said, it's frustrating, but that ball into the box is ridiculous. Do you know how hard it is to score set pieces from a central position? It doesn't normally happen. You don't really see it. We probably could have only scored if he put it in that exact position. So yeah, like I said, if he's going to carry on doing those moments and we're going to carry on winning games, then I guess I'll just have to live with these 5 out of 10s every week.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the stats, which I won't go into. People can see it. Passing
Mhm.
77%, 5 out of 8 ground duels. So again, defensively, he's working well. But again, and
No
that key
shots.
pass. Right, exactly, exactly. But again, that ball that he plays, I mean, it's perfect to
Yeah,
Gay. It's absolutely, it's on a, as we say in America, it's on a dime. It's a
yeah,
perfect pass. It's just brilliant, and
yeah.
a lot of people can't do that. Many people can't make that pass, so it's a brilliant pass. But again, moments were there, but
Yeah.
again, overall, it wasn't a great performance by him again. So, which is why we gave him what we gave him.
When he was taking a free kick, I was in the ground. I think I said about 10 times, "Do not shoot. Do not think about shooting," because he's been doing that recently, trying to pop luck shots from 35 yards, hoping it goes in. So
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised when it landed on Gay's foot.
Final starter, Jean-Philippe Mateta, 7.5 from both of us, and what I will say is again, striker's performance by him. Worked hard. Vestergaard, meh as a defender, fast, meh as a defender, but he worked him. And on the goal, because I'll focus on the goal because that's the part that I want to talk about. Great movement. It reminded me of the Ipswich goal, but different because he didn't
Mm-hmm.
body him to the ground, but he bodied around Vestergaard, and the finish to go around the
Ah,
keeper
brilliant.
and left foot. Oh, just brilliant. I mean, and again, when you need him to score, it's just, and then the celebration at the end, celebration after the games. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, really, I mean, what, that 6th goal this season. Um,
Yeah.
Transformed us as a striker, and again getting the key goals for us this season. But your thoughts on JP?
As I said, I did say he was due a goal and then he was going to go on a goal scoring run. I said it. I could feel it. Just what happens when you work hard and you keep going.
Yes,
Like he is Palace. Like just his style of play, his character. I love everything about him. I was an advocate for giving him the money that he deserved. If he wanted 70, 80, 90 grand a week, that is what he is putting in performances that are worth that money.
I agree.
He does all the dirty work. I love the fact that he's a big guy, but he loves going in behind. He play on that shoulder. He threatened in the first half with that offside chance, and the timing of the run for his goal is very underrated as well, because there's such a small space for him to run into. It would have been easy for him to stray offside. Timed it perfectly. Proper old school striker. Go around the keeper, slot it in. Great celebrations. It's the perfect striker's performance.
Yeah, it was brilliant. I want to talk about the subs, but I want to focus on this sub first, Kamada. 6.5
Mm-hmm.
from me, 6 from you. I thought he did a really good job, and
Yeah.
stats wise, 14 out of 15 passes, misplaced one pass, 20 touches, 1 out of 1 tackles, one interception, 2 out of 4 ground duels. But I thought he did a solid job.
Mm-hmm.
At the time when he came in, obviously, he came in a position where he's playing in that 8 position in the midfield. Obviously, we're down Wharton. We were down Lerma, so he has to come in. I was actually thought he might have brought somebody else in to play that midfield position, maybe even Devaney. But I think the last couple of matches, seeing Kamada in midfield, I think he's doing a good job. And I know our fan base again has been criticizing him, but I thought yesterday again, I think every time he comes to the game, he's gaining more and more confidence. Playing better, doing the job for the team again, coming on and helping us, keep that clean sheet. I thought again a good solid performance by Kamada yesterday. What are your thoughts on Kamada?
Listen, I always talk about technicians. He is a technician. The ground rules and the interceptions, they were important ones as well, because they were in transition. And one of my things I spoke about Kamada is his timing of tackles have been off.
Yes,
So I was really glad to see him getting in there and not mistiming them and giving away a yellow. The one ball that he did play, that was I think you said 14 out of 15. The one ball nearly created a chance for them. But listen, it's gonna happen. I thought he brought a calmness to the team. He played a beautiful 40, 50-yard ball across to
yes,
Munoz.
the Munoz. Yeah,
And
yeah.
2 minutes, I think 5 minutes before that, Eze tried the same ball and absolutely shanked it off the pitch.
Yep.
So it's easy for people to complain about Kamada, but they don't look at these things. Yeah, so again, Palace fans, football fans in general, you speak about these players so quickly, and then they can change it, they can turn it around. Give people time. I think it'll only get better. People think because we're bringing in new players, SA and stuff like that, hopefully, that he'll go down the pecking order. Well, no, sometimes it helps people raise their games. I think SA coming in could change Eze, because there might be a chance his minutes go down, and we've got different player profiles. We've got Kamada that can come in. Do you know what I mean? We've got a nice, once we got everyone fit, there's lots of different profiles we have. And I thought he done really well when he came on. And I hope he's on like a slow trajectory
It
to
is.
maybe hit. But that's fine. Play your way into form. Keep it simple. And I said he earned a few more minutes in the preview for Leicester. I said if it wasn't
Okay.
working, or I said he earned to get more than 10. And I think he done really well for the 30 minutes he was on.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I like his versatility. Playing in the 8 or playing as the Y10. He's and you need
Mm-hmm.
that. Sometimes like a sub, you gotta have the versatility in your players. That's great. Let's go to the subs now, and I don't have a lot to say about a lot of them. So, Nketiah, 5.5 for me, 5 for you. Anything you wanna point out? Nketiah, I thought he did okay, but there's nothing really
Yeah.
stands out. Or how about you?
Yeah, no, yeah, just like I said, if unless he gets 30, 40 minutes or 60 minutes, you're not going to really see a difference. Like he came on, I feel like his attitude was good. Mateta scored the goal, ran the defenders ragged, gave him a chance to run in behind. Maybe if he's a little bit less rusty, he can carve out a few more opportunities. But yeah, it is what it is. His competition is playing really well. Can't really do anything.
And I wanna add, I like the fact he's coming on as a striker now, not as a 10. And I think it's
Yeah.
gonna help him going forward for sure. Justin Devaney, 5.5 for both of us again. young kid getting some minutes at the end, not making any mistakes, helping us see out games. I love that Glasner has confidence in him, but nothing really to add on him. Anything for you?
I thought he battled really well, and if Klein had a bit more quality, he could have been put in a couple of times. He's got a really good energy about him. He's young, he's hungry. So when you're 1-0, 2-0 up, and you're bringing him on, and all he wants to do is press the life out of their defenders, whereas maybe some other players, they're 2-0 up, we can maybe sit back a bit. He's not like that. He's like, okay, I'm coming on for 10 minutes. I'm going to make the most of this 10 minutes. So yeah, again, I'm happy for him to come on.
I agree. And lastly, Klein, who came on late to give Mitchell, who was sick, ill, and obviously blowing. 5.5 for me again, 0.5 because of the clean sheet. And again, you gave him a 5. Anything you want to add for Klein?
I'm just happy he gave Mitchell 15 minutes rest, so he gets a 5 for me for that.
I agree. Yes, perfect. Lastly, the manager. 9.5 for me. You gave him a 10. I'll tell you why I gave him a 9.5. Only reason was the first 20 minutes frustrated me. But tactically, set us up fine. I thought the lineup, I couldn't have. That was our best 11 he put out there. Not knowing Jefferson Lerman is ill, but making that sub when he had to. The subs came on at the right time. The halftime rollicking he gave them was important. I had a quote from him that I wrote down. I watched a post match. He said it was better. The goals were great. We found our number 10s in the pocket as they moved better. And he said the change was the runs in behind and we didn't pass back and back, which I think that frustrated me too. The back. And he said it was a good set play. But I thought Glasner again, masterclass from him. Again, the way performances have been so good. You've been lucky enough to see a few of them in person, but the way performances have been so good. 11 away goals conceded is ridiculous for a Palace side. But he's just been great. And again, just get him some more players. Please, I beg, get him some more players. But your thoughts on Glasner as we end the player ratings?
Listen, he's just, I love everything about him. I come on here and I say it every week. He's the best thing that's happened to this club in a long time. He is the most important person at this club by a mile. He needs players. He also needs a new contract. Give him what he wants.
Great point.
If anyone should be paid the highest, it's him. He works wonders. Listen, he might have said a bollocking, but I even think there's a difference between a bollocking and bollocking and giving information. These are grown Premier League players. They don't need to be shouted at. That's a thing of the past. There's no such thing as hairdryer treatments. It's telling them instructions, telling them to be brave. And I did say also in the preview, if they execute Glasner's plan, they will win comfortably. The first 20 minutes, they was not executing the plan. As soon as the second half came out and they done what he told them to do, easy 2-0 win. Could have got more. So yeah, 10 from me.
Yeah. Well, that's it for the play ratings. I want to thank Lou for jumping on. Again, we will be doing a preview, I think some later on today for the West Ham match. He might be doing an opposite preview with someone, I'm not really sure, but check out that content. We also have a post-match reaction on Saturday for the West Ham game. Lou, thanks for jumping on. We really appreciate it. A little longer today, but hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And please drop a like, subscribe, and until next time, up the Palace.